Hello and welcome to the Customer Acquisition Show. I am your host, Tom Meredith, the VP of Marketing here at Tier 11. Today we're joined by some seasoned vets of the Customer Acquisition Show, Rashna and Ollie, and we're here to talk about what's working now in Google Ads. How are you guys doing today?
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are things in Google land?
Before we get started with Google, I want to say before, like after the end of the call, do we get a shirt like yours as a participant, like coming to participant?
I think we should all get more Hawaiian shirts. That's actually
Yeah.
one thing I want to do with AI. Midjourney is, Vans shoes will allow you to custom print your shoes. So I want to use Midjourney to create like a custom Hawaiian shirt theme and get those printed on shoes.
Nice.
Yay.
So many people now doing that, doing SEO and then to print on demand, and even ads to print on demand.
Yeah.
Midjourney, and what's the other one?
There's a few of them like Stable Diffusion. And
Yeah, that's the one. That's
Dolly.
the one that's more. Dolly is it's average. Yeah, I really like Midjourney and Stable Diffusion.
Have you used Stable Diffusion much?
Yeah, I have. And I'm not using it on my computer. It doesn't work on Mac. I'm using through RAM Diffusion. So you pay for a cloud, and you play with it. It's a little bit more precise. And there's the Leonardo AI also, which I kind of like also. It's
I've been using the one that's built into Photoshop quite a bit, the generative AI there.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy the stuff you had to do before with Photoshop to remove, for example, text out of an image, and now, you select it remove it. You just say remove the text. Okay, it's crazy. I really love it.
It's definitely actually helped us as media buyers a lot, because not just like for the Google Ads perspective, let's say I have a campaign to go live, and because of the AI, I can actually quickly generate ideas like the visual images and like what direction I want to go into, what's like the campaign. Otherwise, the turnaround time was so much. Like I would plan and then go to the design, put together something, go to the client, I want to go live with something like that, then come back, do iteration. But with AI, it's become like, it's so quick. Just, the turnaround time is so quick. And it's still not perfect, like especially text to video generative AI, but definitely has helped us in getting things out quickly.
Yeah. Create prompt. You do it. It's like I have so many prompts to try to optimize everything. It's crazy.
I think this is actually a good start to this topic, and I'm happy to go down this route quite a while.
Yeah.
Like even how you guys are using Google AI. But to answer your question, Ollie, I've got a lot of like prompts and save prompts. I'll even use them in like a text expander for something that I use on a repeatable basis.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I created in Notion. I can share with you if you want. It's like I created Notion. You have a database. It's not. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I've actually been using. Have you been using Anthropic at all, Claude?
No.
Yeah.
For long content, but it's more for content creation because it allows me to do 5K text easier than with ChatGPT.
Yeah, I've been using that a lot. I like that one a lot. I don't know if I like it more. They're kind of like different use cases. I find I have like different use cases for each of the AIs. Like Bard, I use for like how I'd want to ask a question of Google. ChatGPT is like my writing partner, and then Claude is somebody like somebody I always want to outsource longer form stuff to.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, for Google Ads, I like Bard for keyword research because it belongs to Google. So normally the research for the keywords are better than on OpenAI and ChatGPT, etc. So every app is a usage.
Talk about how you're using Bard for Google keywords, like a bit more specifically.
I would try to search more long tail keywords by using Bard. So I would feed a little bit and then use my prompt to search, for example, keywords that are related, but long tail for maximum 3 or 4 keywords, and I will ask him to and continue. It's more kind of a conversation, but you can find some gems. So really keywords. Oh, this one I could use it. So it for Google Ads, and also when you want to write some content on some ads, it can give you some ideas. So it's more specific, really for Google Ads. If I have to do my research, I'd rather use Bard. But for creating, I'd rather use ChatGPT. It's like you said, every AI has its usage, but I'm afraid to multiply a little bit too much. But it's like I'm gonna have to pay
ChatGPT. With ChatGPT, it's also about getting the right prompts. Like, for example, if I am, selling something and I have 5 kinds of avatar, now it's not about like which keyword you test. It's also what intents do you test more with the keywords.
Yeah,
and that's where you can really ask ChatGPT that just imagine that buyer persona. What would you put in? Like what variety, and how would you put up a query with different intents, and then you can get a lesson. So that gets you, what the buyer intention across different personas would be. And so, that prompt part with the AI is really important. If you have the right prompts, you can actually do a lot. Otherwise, a simple thing like give me keyword list of this, it's basic stuff. So you have to level up your game. You can actually do really well with ChatGPT.
Have you?
Yeah, I attempt. Yeah, sorry. Go on, Tom.
No, I was gonna say, have you guys used the custom instructions in ChatGPT yet?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah, I have a list also for every persona. So every profile I want to start with. So if I okay, I'm a media buyer, I'm searching for a keyword, a list of keywords. So I'm preparing the instruction, and you have to follow this. Yeah, what I regret is there's no individual one, so you have to redo every time. That's what I regret for now. Yeah,
I almost feel like getting individual ChatGPT logins for each custom.
Yeah. It's true. That's the only part that's annoying, but it's already good like this. So
yeah. So Ross, you were talking a little bit earlier about how you were using ChatGPT for like not having to go back and forth with clients and other stuff. Can you talk a little bit more specific about kind of your workflow there and what you're using it for?
So a lot of time what happens, especially if it's the campaign creative oriented a lot, like images and videos, we have different angles, hooks, and the targeting variations. Like this is the version 1, 2, 3, 4. We have it in our minds. What we have to do is we have to put it together in terms of like the creative brief and get back to the designer. They'll give us something, and then we'll go to the client, try to show and try to get suggestions. But now it's like I don't need the designer there, like probably some little tweaks that AI fails to get me. But like I know what I really want to test. Like this is the avatar I want to go after. Then I'll just put it into my journey, get some variations. Like this is what I'm looking at, the feel of the creative. It's like, with that, and then quickly show it to the client. So that time in between saves a lot. Like it's sometimes it's the iteration part of between, what you have in your mind, what client expects. And so that back and forth is something that's just the best thing I've found so far.
Nice. Yeah. I recently used ChatGPT for coming up with some creative ideas. So if you start to see there's a new video, I think we're running ads for it, of Ralph using soccer as an analogy for full funnel marketing, or football for all the internationals. I asked that came from a list of ideas from ChatGPT. I was looking for, I asked it basically to come up with analogies for full funnel marketing, and it gave me a list. Most of them were not very good, but some of them like really kind of hit home, and like we can build upon that. And I think it's really, for me, is a really strong creative part. It's a good creative partner for me. Like,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, because of the creative iterations, we through what really worked, and we put put in more variations of things which have worked for us. In that also, the AI tools help us provide variations if we have right prompts. Like if this worked, why is it work? And this is the direction we want to create variations into. So you help us out in that. So it's like it's like dream come true, I would say, because you don't have the idea of blockage, like, oh my God, what should be the next variation or the next test? You just flow. You learn from it and you quickly deliver things on the client end.
I agreed. How about Chat GPT Code Interpreter? Are you guys using that for any sort of data analysis?
Yeah, I was tempted to do it with Excel sheet, but I haven't tried yet. But it's so overwhelming nowadays. We are saving time, but every time I save time, I learn something else, and I'm like, oh, I have to watch that and then learn how to do that. So the code interpreter, I think I used it for one or two things, but I wanted to try, uploading an Excel sheet and then ask him to analyze specific column and things like that. Still have to do. It's on my to-do list.
I know my Twitter feed is like full of like somewhat nerdy AI people and just the new stuff that's always coming out. Like, yeah, I want to get my own llama.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Every day you wake up, there's a new exciting AI in the market, really. And then it's really hard. For me, it's really hard to keep up with all the tools that are coming in the market. So I just test the ones which are like really popular and can help me with my media buying. Otherwise, it's really distracting, honestly.
Yeah,
I know. And my problem is I like the ChatGPT for my work, but I like a side of my work, and then I like Midjourney, and then it's completely overwhelming. It's like, but it's a nice era. It's like, I don't know. It's an era for me. It's like gonna change everything. So
for sure,
we learn.
I mean, even Midjourney now has their in painting tool where you can modify. That was always the biggest problem.
Yeah.
With Midjourney is you had to like nail the prompt. Now you can always just kind of iterate on like the image it puts out.
You can use ChatGPT to do the prompt for you also.
I know.
If you
yeah, with Code Interpreter, as an agency, we have to be somewhat careful about what we can and can't upload because our clients.
Sure. Yeah.
But I did. Yeah. We're doing some new ad testing for Tier 11 marketing, testing, really leaning into the idea that we've been talking a lot about of the different phases of awareness, consideration, and conversion. So what I did is I took all of the CSV files for the performance of our different social posts across Meta and YouTube, fed those into Code Interpreter and asked it to predict which of these socials would be better at each stage of the customer journey. And it went through this whole list of like, awareness, you have to really be focused on like average view length, total impressions. So it picked the top videos or social posts based off of those criteria. Then it was like consideration. It was like, well, here we want to pick videos that have high engagement, comments, shares, and all that, and picked a set of videos for there. And then for conversion, it was basing it off of click-through rates, because there's not really a whole lot of conversion data on social media. So it was pretty interesting how it like used everything that it's built on to take a massive amount of information and give me 5 things that I would have spent tons of time just going through and making guesses on my own.
Yeah, it would be good also for if you do a YouTube campaign, so you would know, okay, what I'm going to start with and mixed with the audience, and you follow your funnel with it. It's also useful for that. I guess what kind of video you would want.
On that only, I don't know if you remember the framework that we have, the Educate framework. So that one, I have taken that framework just for example, like any hook, problem, solution, and then you put a credential and then a call to action. It's like a basic framework that is there. You put it in. If you have an intense framework, like follow these steps, and you put that framework in, and and then ask Google to fill in variations of hook, problems and then solution and then a credential part of it. So it can really help in creating the video. And then you take that as Ali said, that give me a prompt to create a text to video, and then you put it in there. And so
Yeah.
I think we're already living in 2040 or 2030
Yeah.
something.
The thing I found most helpful with stuff like that is having a really strong like ICP or persona profile. Like I'll usually feed that in first, like who we're trying to target, what keeps them up at night, what are their goals. And if we have really cool language there that is based off the customer's language, that really helps coming up with very good outputs.
Yeah, you can do with the custom instruction also.
What's up?
Yeah.
I do with custom
AI
instruction now.
Audio?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, there's a lag.
Sorry.
Go on.
So the one that's really excited is the AI audio one. And so if that can be integrated with the communication tools like Slack, what that AI does is the more you do communication with the people on Slack, it learns how you talk, how you respond, and then it starts responding on behalf of you if people are looking for any questions or queries. And I just realized that how we have gotten derailed from Google Ads. We'll jump back to that.
So what was that tool called?
No, it's in working. It's not still here. Yeah.
Cool. All right, we have a question from Saeed here, which kindly name some free AI tools as well, specifically for Google Ads.
Maybe,
so we hit on
maybe Rashna, maybe Rashna have some names because I don't use specific tool. I mostly use ChatGPT, Bard, and Claude, but I don't use specific AI tools for Google Ads.
Google itself is the biggest AI tool in itself. So you don't necessarily need another AI tool to combine. Or if you're starting small, I would say ChatGPT is the way to go because it's again not creative heavy on Google. So yeah, I think ChatGPT would do 90% of your work. Besides that, there are other AI options already available inside Google Ads, like enhanced conversion that you should use, or any suggestions that in terms of the headlines that pop up, keywords that pop up. Be very strategic about it, not just if Google is giving you just test it. But there are so many AI tools included in the Google Ads dashboard itself. So honestly, like we manage so many heavy spending Google Ads account, hardly have we come across that we need a very specific AI tool. We just do with ChatGPT. What about you, Ali? Is there anything else you use?
No, it's really ChatGPT, Bard, Claude for some content. The rest is like I still use my old SpyView for my the competitive. So no specific tool for my ads. I think it's enough with ChatGPT and everything it offers, and Bard also.
Yeah, Facebook and Google must be like, why does everybody care about AI now? We've been doing machine learning for the last 5 to 8 years, not longer.
Yeah.
Have you found like different performance when using like the Google generated copy? Or do you typically like who's better?
Google generated copy comes from the website. So if the website has like really good content, then it's helpful. If the website doesn't really have a very good content that goes along with the targeting that we are doing, then it depends again, like how good the generative content, like the headline description taken by Google should be given priority, or you want to put in your headline, because that just is a random shot taken by the AI to scroll through your website. Okay, I like this, and I can put together some headlines or some variations of them. What do you think?
That's where SEO that's where SEO is coming back. If you have a good structure on your website, on-site SEO, then Google will remember and then find the best headlines and find the best content to use in your ads. So SEO is still there. That's why it's still there.
It's very important. The importance of SEO is growing so much. Like if people don't pay attention to, focus on the SEO part of the website and just think, sticking in text, title and the body, the header, that's it. It's not going to crack. The amount of spend you would do and still wouldn't get the results, I would have to say that spend has to go with SEO first. The reason is that the Google is moving forward with more AI-driven tools. For example, the Performance Max is going in a direction where all you need to give is your website link. That's it. Like you don't need to give text, descriptions, long headlines, nothing. It's just that you don't even give the keywords. All you have to give is website, of course, as much heavy budget as possible. 2 things you need, and you just start the Performance Max campaign. So if Google fails in understanding your website in order to what do you sell as a product or a service, you will, whatever budget you have, you'll never be able to get the results. So the importance of SEO is really big right now. We have come across situations where we have a campaign running. We have the best keyword research. We have the best campaign running. By the end of the day, we realize that the moment we take that link and we stick it into Keyword Planner and try to get what Google thinks we rank as a landing page, it was completely 2 opposite things. So, that is why the importance is only growing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like beyond even SEO. It's like really having good, clear messaging. Because if Google can't understand it, humans definitely can't understand it.
Yeah,
definitely.
All right, we have another question here. I'd love to get your perspective on from Arjun. How do you create a solid media plan? I think what he's asking here is like, how do you kind of maybe start from like the brainstorming phase of like how you want to build out a campaign over maybe a defined period of time?
Well, Ollie is really good at Facebook ads, I would say. So Ollie is really good with Google and Facebook together. What do you think?
The media plan, you think how to work on the branding, the awareness, and then the complete construction of the plan. Is it what Arjun is meaning? Yeah, that's what I find. So we talked about the structure of the website. It would be one of the first things should focus on, and then when we come to paid ads, what I realized this last year, maybe the year before, maybe mostly this last year, is the usage of Facebook at the same time as Google ads. It's really important because they come along together now. So you need Facebook to push the awareness, the branding, how people, they discover your brand, and then they go on Google to search who are you. So it's really important. I think in the past and still now, some people that advertise, they think, oh, I'm going to do Google ads only, or I'm going to do Facebook ads only, or Facebook ads is not working, I'm going to stop there and do only Google ads, and then their Google ads is decreasing. So in the media plan, I would try to think about a balanced budget with Facebook and Google ads, and not only one. Okay, I want to spend 5,000 per month only on Google ads. I would try to balance it. It depends on the ratio you want to do, but I think it's that. It's so broad, the media plan. You could think about so many things.
Actually, if we just talk about the marketing plan only, like what's the marketing plan? It's always good to divide your budget through, multiple channels, or, rather than just putting all your money into one channel. in general, in marketing, just not digital marketing, it's the best practice is to divide and try to test multiple things at once. So as Ollie said,
Yeah.
Facebook really works well. We've come across situations a lot, many times that Google was running, Facebook was also running along with Google, but the ROAS on the Google side is 2 times on Facebook. So the client decides to, what I'm going to do? I'm going to put all my money from Facebook and put it into Google because that's the ROAS I'm getting, the most ROAS. And what happens? The moment they pull budgets from Facebook, the Google performance also tanks. So that's something we have to be really, that's where the ACC framework really helps. Like, where are you creating awareness about your product? And it again depends on the business. Like, is your business more about, are people even aware about the problem? Like, if they're not even aware about the problem that they have, then you'll have to run some awareness-based campaign so people get aware about the problem, and then you come in as a solution provider, and that's where they'll go to a channel like Google and look for you and convert for you. That's very important.
Yeah, I think even a step above it, like comes down to the customer and the whole customer journey. Like really taking some time to map out how a customer or potential customer goes through the whole journey to actually purchase from you. Where do they first hear about you or find out about you? Is it influencer marketing? Is it through kind of awareness and consideration ads on Facebook and the other social platforms, YouTube as well? And then like after that, what happens? Right? They land on your site, and then what do you do? Like it's really thinking about how you're going to treat each of these different platforms separately and make sure that the budget is spread across appropriately, and really understanding what each of these platforms is good for. Like Google, as Roshan was mentioning, is just for answering people's problems. Like when somebody Googles, not outside of your brand name, if somebody's Googling the problem that you solve, you better have a lot of ads and information on your website about how you solve that problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not forget TikTok and Pinterest.
Yeah.
For branding, it's not bad.
Don't sleep on Pinterest. I mean, even from social. So on Perpetual Traffic, one of the recurring guests, Lauren Petrullo, has a Pinterest agency, and she's running the Perpetual Traffic Pinterest. It is.
Yeah, listen to that one. It's really good.
It's unbelievable. It's getting like 100,000 views a month now. After like 3 months, sending like 1,000 people to the website from it. It's nuts. So I would not sleep on Pinterest.
No, it's really good. It's really good. I'm using it, so that's why I mentioned it. So
yeah.
Sometimes we forgot that one. It's a very good one.
And there's only reason I think I heard recently that Amazon's also taken the placements on Pinterest. So from your Amazon ads now you can deliver your ads on the Pinterest. So
really?
That's a good
yeah. So kind of getting back to SEO or just messaging in general, I think this is a good time to talk about search generative experience. And Ollie, you want to have a little demo that we're going to play around with to kind of show what you can expect, at least in the near term, of how users are going to potentially experience your brand.
Sure. Okay. Wait, I can share. We can share. Yeah. Share screen. On this one. That one. You're good. You're good. You see it? Yes. So I can retype, but I type in here best Hawaiian T-shirt, and yeah, you can see now. Sorry.
Let's do something like best running shoes. That's like a solution, a problem that has. Like they can't make a decision. They know they want to run and get healthy.
It's just generating here, if you see in the bottom. So you have, of course, Google Shopping now. So you have Google Shopping, then the 2 results in search. Then you have the generative result, generative AI. You can show more, continue the conversation if you want. But you still have the 3 top results on organic, because we were discussing before. So those three still running.
Actually, you know what? Like, can you check if the organic and the one citation which is there, is it the
Yeah,
same as
that's
the
what
organic?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Is it?
searching. So it's Runner World. Yes, the bet. No, it's not the same exactly. The best running shoes of 2000. It's not exactly
And the third
the
one
same.
is
It's the
Gear
website.
Loop.
It's the same website. How to pick? No,
Yeah.
it's New York Mag
Gear
and
Loop
Fleet.
is not
So
even
yeah,
there.
yeah. No, you have to. It's weird.
That's the SEO we're talking about. Like now, the game of SEO is going to get really stronger because the organic listing you see, the first one is Runner's World, and the next one is not really the Gear Loop on the generative AI. So how do you rank for generative AI is going to be really
It's going to
interesting.
be different. Yeah. It's interesting to study. I didn't think about that one. It's really not the same top three. You see?
It is really interesting that they're
Yeah.
using different algorithms to rank like their normal SEO search results, but also the ones that are within the generative AI references. I mean, this kind of gets to the big problem with SEO is people create stuff specifically for the search engines, where it looks like the stuff with the generative AI is actually more creative for people.
Especially since in the beginning that you had like Google saying, "Oh no, we don't want AI generated content," and now they say, "Okay, it's okay if it's valuable." You have to find the balance where it's valuable, and then you can generate a ton of content like this. It's like, but I think it's normal that if it's good content, even if it's AI creating it, I don't see the problem, because you have so many people that write bad content. If the AI is writing something that's better to read, why not? It's not really a problem for me.
Can you open up the first citation in the generative AI and the first organic listing and compare it with the search query that we had put up?
This one?
Is this the first citation?
Hit that little left arrow.
Oh, maybe not. Yes.
The first one,
That's
the 9 best. Yeah, this one.
So I don't.
And
I
the
don't see why they
one
mentioned
as
this.
organic. Yeah, this one. Although these are from the same website, but the pages are different, I think.
I don't know this. This is a running shoes name? A brand? Oh, it's a brand. I don't know that brand. Sorry. Oh yeah, I see that logo. Okay, that's okay.
Not able to see
so
your screen.
Why would they Oh, I'm sorry. I opened the tab. I'm stupid. I can open. Sorry. Let's open directly there.
So this is the citation like from the generative AI. And the
this is the one. I don't know why it's like so I'm coming back. Sorry, it's loading again.
Yeah.
This is a better result, no?
This is different. Is that the shop section of the website?
No, I'm scrolling down, but
it's seeing a lot.
See, this is a better result
This is
than the generative AI result. This is what I want to see.
I'm just wondering if the generative AI response was based off your history, browsing history. Have you ever interacted with that brand that was popped up?
No.
Well,
I didn't know the brand.
Can you go back to the SGE result and open it up? And just the show more. Oh, go back.
Oh, show more? Sorry.
Yeah.
I should have shared my whole screen, but it's a 49-inch. So it's going to be a mess.
Sometimes when Ollie shares, I have to zoom a particular section of his entire screen.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. They're putting shopping. But yeah, so I think it's, the generative AI isn't taking that Saucony article as a whole. It took all the different results that it's citing and picking the best for each of the criteria that people value, right? So I don't know if like the Saucony is best for outside grip, it looks like, and cushioning, where that maybe there's probably about Brooks for fit and ride. So I think this is actually branding becomes like really important. Where if you think of Volvo, what do you think of? Like safest cars in the world, right? So if you look up safest cars, if you're Volvo, you better be showing up on the SGE.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. It's like,
but it's really interesting when you look at this whole page, like how you can see what Google values, or where. You can see what Google makes, right? Shopping ads, or easy conversion, make a ton of money for them. Then you get to the search result ads, and then they're saying that the SGE is more valuable for them than the regular results.
And we don't know how it looks on mobile. Would it look? How would it look if you go to 12 Pro? Maybe don't change it. Imagine on mobile though, the scroll you have to do to see the organic part.
Yeah,
it's going to be crazy.
So how important are Google Shopping ads?
Look at that. They're pushing it so much. So is what I was checking also. So here you have the top 2, and you have other example of. So when I type in lawyer near me, it's not always generative AI doing it. Okay, so here you see you have 4 paid, and then it doesn't put the generative AI every time. If you want to generate, you have to ask him to generate. So here you have the 4 search results, then you have GMB, and then you have the organic. If you don't want that, you don't have to. We're going to click it, of course. You see, it's another display.
I think would you say the intent of the keyword matters a lot if Google decides to show generative response? Because this one is more transactional, like navigational.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we can try something else. It's like thinking. Yeah, it's going to be shopping. The problem is going to be shopping. Either you have shopping or either you have a service. So it's hard. My brain is freezing. Where is the best air quality in the world now? Yeah, you see here it's forcing it directly.
Yeah, again, the intent is informational. I think that is the reason. Suppose not a lot of advertisers would advertise on this.
Yeah, no, you don't want to. If you have a product for.
How about like how to get rid of a headache?
Like yeah, probably it's going to force you to. Oh. So it's in one website. Yeah, generative AI directly. No ads. You have no ads. Nobody is betting on this. I would bet it. I would bid on it. Definitely, if like, maybe they probably can.
Yeah, maybe AI has gotten one step ahead of you, Ali. It knows you're messing with them.
It's crazy. Nobody is like It's a good keyword.
What
To get
if
rid
you
of headache.
do supplements? Let's
Hangover?
try transactional.
That's still no ad. I have product for that. You have it. Something more transactional. Where can I find best? It's not easy. It's not easy with me. The best.
Pre-workout.
We tried that.
Pre-workout, yeah, that's a common supplement. No, PRE. Oh, the tree workout would be interesting.
Yeah.
ChatGPT, give me 10 exercises I can do with the tree.
Good one. Like,
shopping.
Shopping. Then it's forced generative AI. Amazon, yeah, it's normal.
No search ads, huh?
I mean, shopping.
Search ads would be at the bottom. There, Amazon.
Yeah, there's I found it. It's on the Amazon. That's crazy.
And it's also like they have increased the scrolls. Like now, I recently learned about this, that the bottom of the page, on the first page in the search engine results page, the listings have increased. Now you can continue scrolling, and it doesn't give you an option to, if you want to switch to second page. Just continue scrolling.
No, it's mobile.
And now you're always on the first page.
It's like mobile.
So your bids will be based on the first page bid.
All right. So just to summarize how to start planning for marketing in this generative search world, what would we say like our top 3 things to focus are?
We'll go Rashna.
You go, Ali. No.
All right, so I'll start.
My God,
if you have a product that you can get on Google Shopping, you have to be on Google Shopping.
Yeah. It's mandatory. It's mandatory. Yeah.
Basic.
Yeah.
Very basic. Like
I'm a basic guy.
Be on Merchant Center, have your Shopify properly connected with all the tracking, your dynamic marketing. Pretty basic, like have your conversion actions in place, have your shopping feed optimized. Like I see many times people have their shopping feed not optimized and they start their ads. So it's not clear from the title what the product is. The image itself, the background of that product is so blurry. It just doesn't stand out in that whole list. So that's like, other than that, basic keyword research, and give them a reason to buy from you. Like, why should they buy from you? Yeah.
Good description. Yeah. SEO optimized description. We come back to SEO again, but Google Shopping is also about ranking, so it has to be optimized also. Clear and optimized.
And also GTIN number, many times GTIN numbers are missing. That's the biggest attribute from which Google learns about your product and where to show. GTIN number, very important.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'd say from like a creative perspective, I would start searching your products and questions around your products in SGE to see what is coming up, and then start creating content for those specific things. So in the case of a running shoe, I would be leaning into articles about why my running shoe has the best fit or has the best traction off road. Like, it's very clear how they're pulling information into SGE. So you want to start creating stuff for how it's going to present those answers.
Yeah,
definitely. And that's why Performance Max. Sorry, Ali.
No, you go. I'll talk after. No worry. You go.
So that's why Performance Max comes in with the full funnel. Honestly, there's a client who had the best SEO possible. Like they have blogs around all the possible intents that people would be looking into. And they, because of their SEO was so strong, Google Performance Max built a full funnel, like starting from the blogs. And we saw that so many intakes are coming from the blog post itself. That's it. And then ideal situation for any advertiser would be that they would take in the offer page and start a campaign and expecting that that would work better. But then since they had like so many blog posts and the Performance Max was catching on to the queries which were more top of the funnel, and then they started showing the blogs, and the page was so beautifully built that they had these micro conversions in there. So the moment a person who was in that, inquiry and research phase, by the end of the blog post, they have a small call to action that, what, you can sign up for free and things like that. And then nurturing that, and then Performance Max tries to further push them in the funnel, make that sale. And so that's very important to identify what users looking for and start from the top, capturing them in the awareness to the conversion stage.
Yeah, I think the same. It's like that. A lot of it's the opposite, that a lot of a company or brand, they forgot to create the content and they forgot to create the value behind. So they create their Shopify and it's like they put their product and then they, okay, let's do branding. But the branding is also about giving value to the people if you want them to buy from you. So it's exactly that. They find the blog post and the blog post, oh yeah, that's true. They give value, so they come back to the brand, and then it's easier for them to convert because they know you're not afraid of giving some value and explaining why it's better. It's really the most important things. I see so many Shopify with like one blog post or two blog posts. You should put more content over there, even with AI now, so you can get the good idea to create content using AI now, so it's even better than before. So it's really the right moment to create that, and then you ease the media buyer and the advertising result because you already have those foundation.
Yeah, well, I think there's been this big mindset shift that's been happening about giving value, and not gating value, and I think again, SGE makes that even more clear because it can't be trained on stuff that's gated or doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. So you got to give that value.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you're depending on people coming to your website to get that value, that's how things used to work. And now the more generative search experience, I can't imagine a world where generative search isn't the norm. So you better be planning on giving that value away off of your website.
Yeah. I think the prioritization of if you should start building a strong website with blogs, or you should start creating awareness with Facebook, like being omnipresent, trying to solve the problem, making people aware about it. It depends on, like, let's say, Ollie realizes he needs a shoe and then he goes looking for best shoes on Google. That's where you need a lot of content because your product is like that people come to Google first and try to look for you, like what you offer in the research phase. But then sometimes the offer is there which is more based off people who are not even aware about the problem. That's where your interruption marketing comes in play, that what, there is a problem. Then they get realized instantly that we need to solve this particular problem, and who made us realize was this particular brand. And so what happens is when you're omnipresent, like let's say I have my ads running on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, generally, like it builds a credibility that, this brand is reliable because I see them everywhere. So many times it really helps in favor of you. Then ultimately when the person was ready in making a final conversion, was in the consideration phase, and they go to shopping, they see 10 vendors selling, and then one of which they saw on Facebook, the brand name itself, they'll definitely engage with you and consider you and convert for you. If they were never heard about you, the possibility of them converting for you is going to be very low.
Minimal. Yeah.
And this comes all back to the customer journey. Like, how is your customer finding your solution? If they don't even know how they have a problem, then that's part of your customer journey as well, that you have to create Facebook and TikTok ads for, so that they can become aware of the problem. If they are looking for best running shoes, well, then that becomes a bit more of like, how are they going to find out about your running shoe? And that's part of that's through ads, but also I would be looking into influencers and trying to get on these best of lists to help support that, how that customer is going to be taking that journey to buying running shoes, and hopefully they are yours. So it's like really it all comes back to getting into the mind of the customer. That's never changed in marketing, right? We got kind of sucked into this conversions on Facebook. It's killing it, but that's
exactly,
those aren't the fundamentals.
With the running shoes only, just like the biggest example we talk about is Nike, right? So Nike never sells the shoe. It doesn't even talk about the shoe. They talk about good athletes. They recognize, the good sport. Like, if there is a well-established player in a sport, they give them recognition. They associate themselves with the how great you can be, and they associate them with that feeling. And so it's about the emotion. So if you capture that, automatically you create your awareness and people start converting for you. So again, as you said, the journey and what emotions does your customer is feeling, and that emotion, you can be a part of that in that journey, you'll just excel with your advertising.
Yeah, like Nike.
We'll win them.
And Nike doesn't create running apps. I mean, like apps that track your running. They create the Nike Run Club, right? How do you find like-minded people who just do it to go partake in this activity that you love? It's like really creating.
Yeah.
Who I think it was a Seth Godin TikTok I saw where he was talking about, if Nike created a hotel, you would know what that hotel looks like. Like, you can imagine what that looks like. But if Hyatt or Hilton created a running shoe, would you know what that looked like? And that's between having a clear brand and an unclear and a commodity brand.
Yeah, that's spot on.
So you should type that on Midjourney to become better. if Nike created an hotel, and then you ask it to draw it. That'd be good.
Yeah. All right. So one last big thing before we sign off, and that's the big piece of Google news this last week of Google demand generation campaigns. Can you talk a little about what those are?
Yes. So demand gen is again the new type, which is being promoted from discovery and with given more AI-driven features. So now it also includes YouTube Shorts as a placement along with in-stream videos. The purpose of this is to really capture more awareness, creating more awareness with your multiple placements that have now been put in. But there are a few changes in the targeting also, that it's surprising that after Google sunsetted the similar audience, it's turned back into lookalike audience. Yeah, and so now it's only available for demand gen. You don't have it available for account level, but you can only use that for demand gen. And that's interesting. Google bringing it back, that audience time. You can optimize it based, as usual, discovery on max conversion value. You can also do max click, which is interesting. So the purpose of it is like, how I see that campaign working would be first retargeting, because if my audience is not converted and they're like heavy, they're warm, I don't care if they, I show them ads on YouTube or any other placement. So retargeting is the first step for me to test in. Other than that, if I'm trying to aware more people, with more video based, that's the difference. Like with discovery ads, it was more about images and the product images, but it was never videos. Now with demand gen, it's like it's more video oriented. So you still have to be very creative about your messaging. As we had the discussion, like you can put more awareness based videos to test with demand gen, try to create more awareness around along with your lookalike audience. So that's really interesting. What do you think, Ollie?
I agree with that part. I think this could be really useful to first for the lookalike if we don't have access to them anymore, and then to go broader and try to reach more people with the YouTube part. So
definitely new audiences are coming in now. I think search theme is another audience type that has come up on Performance Max. It's like you give us your top 10 seed keywords about your product and we'll create the audience ourselves. Like we used to do it, but now it's been put as search
it's
theme.
Like custom intent with keywords, the same would be the same.
I think now there's a limitation of the keywords that you can put in, which is 10.
They were suggesting 50 before. Yeah, so now 10.
Yeah.
Really, have to be tested.
How does like demand gen campaigns and Performance Max like either compete or work together? Or are they completely different advertisers that use them?
Well, that's a very good question. I'll be in a situation where I have tested it along with Performance Max. It recently was released, so we have not really tested it thoroughly along with Performance Max. But that's so interesting. Now, when you have these features that you can exclude certain keywords in a Performance Max and have your other search campaign go after it. So balancing it all out is going to be interesting because demand gen is more video heavy, right? And Performance Max depends. It goes video heavy, search heavy, depending on other campaigns you have in the account. So let's say I have majority of my spend going towards YouTube ads. My Performance Max would be video heavy, right? And so that's where would I run a separate demand gen, and how would that reflect on demand gen? Is it also going majority on the YouTube? So that we still have to test. How does that look like?
I have a weird feeling that beginning of the year they wanted to simplify the management of the account, and at the end of the year they're going to complicate it a little bit more. They changed all the name. They changed the campaign. They added other campaign. So they removed some and then they re-added. Oh, okay, it's not complicated enough. We're gonna add more. It's not really a problem for me. I like to discover new stuff and test. But it's a weird feeling to feel that okay, let's simplify. Okay, no, let's recomplicate it. It's a weird feeling.
Yeah, if somebody just transcripts the honest way of Google introducing a feature, Google's version would be there's a simpler way to manage your campaigns. The honest would be now you're going to spend more to get the same level of results.
Yeah.
All right,
it's more complicated for people also, in my opinion. For normal people entering Google Ads compared to 2 years before, it's more complicated to handle. That's
definitely.
My feeling.
Yeah, imagine they're trying to simplify it for those people, but I don't think they are. Like
it's not working that way.
Honestly, every other day when we audit an ad account and when we go into the ad account, I feel bad. Like just because Google says that you do these steps and you'll get results, so people just follow it. And they think that it's going to work, and then they hope that, Google has a learning phase of up to 4 weeks. I'm just going to let it rest. Or how can that result in performance if the whole setup is wrong? So as long as you wait, you're just only spending money. And this is so common, like the amount of audits that we have done. It just generally reflects the like how users are using Google Ads. It's not a simple tool how Google shows you. It's really complicated. So you have to be either the expert at it, or you have to have an expert to do it for you. If you are a person who doesn't know about Google Ads, or probably had done it 5 years back, you'll waste money. Like, it's a warning. Please take it as a warning.
All right, we have a couple of questions here from Tashar. How can we do contextual targeting through display campaigns?
What's a contextual targeting with display?
Does it mean the content, custom intent? Is it contextual targeting?
I think he's
Custom
trying to
audience,
ask
custom
is like,
intent?
yeah, if we can really drill down and decide audiences for display campaign. Yeah, I think that's the question. If that's the question, then again, you can give certain audiences which are already available in the Google Ads audience list. If your audience doesn't really belong in that available list, you'll have to create and give idea about what your audience is with your custom segment audience, and then you can test that. It's just that you're relying on Google, that Google understands with what queries and keywords you have put together in order to build that audience. If you have a customer list and you want to go exactly after that customer list, if it's a good one, you can test that. Again, I'm not really sure what the question is regarding display.
Yeah. Yeah.
Asking chat
So
really quick.
how can you control display network spend on the UAC campaign?
I'll pop that one up here.
I don't see why you can't control. So UAC is for apps, but I don't know how you can. Do you mean placement, or you can control the spend on placement, or I'm not sure about the question. Rashna, you got it?
I have no
Control
idea.
the spend. I would control the spend.
I think it's
do
an
you mean
app.
that some? Yeah, I know, but maybe he means that sometimes Google is like overspending, like 2 or 3 times the budget per day, but it should balance after 7 or 14 days normally. Is that what you mean? On a day-per-day basis?
All right, I gotta going back to the contextual one. Here's what Bing Chat says. Contextual targeting is a feature in Google Ads that allows advertisers to display their ads on websites or web pages that are relevant to their products or services. It uses keywords or topics to match ads with relevant content.
Yeah, it's in the custom intent, or you can do keywords there, or you can do placement. So you put a list of the placement or your competitors, or where you want to go. Or
is it like a toggle or something that you have to turn on when you're creating a display campaign for contextual targeting, or is it just by its very nature doing that?
Yeah, in display campaign, you can target just the list of placement. You can put a list and then you target only those websites. Usually doesn't work that well because it's either too expensive or a lot of people are already there, so you can't really get impression and things like that. But you can create an audience, and in that audience, instead of putting keywords, you put 10 of your competitors, 20 of your competitors, and then Google create an audience based on those links. So maybe it means that.
Yeah, I think a general rule, and whether it's Facebook or Google, the more specific you get about stuff, whether that's targeting or where you want your ads to show up, the more expensive it's going to be.
Yeah, but display, if you don't give him some guideline, it's going to be hell. It's going to go all over the place, and a lot of placement are really bad and bot infested. So and you take hours and hours blocking all the placement. That's why it's hard. So yeah, I rather give really some boundaries for Google Display. So either placement, keywords, and even that, it's going to be a lot of work to get rid of the bad placement. And you can add lists also. You can add list of key website where you don't want to be seen. It's really a lot of preparation also. You can find some list on internet directly.
And also, it's like if you go after keywords, it will automatically generate placements of that. It's not like how we used to know the content targeting. I think that's what he means here. That if you have your list of keywords, you want to show your ads to your topics or your placements, either one of you can select, or one of the three you can select, and you can show your ads to that particular targeting. But now it's not like that. It's combined of all the three. So you cannot choose one content targeting. You ultimately going to opt for all the three. So if that's the question, then again, you'll have to test and then know.
Yep.
All right, and then I asked Bing Chat for an answer on this one. Here's what it says. Maybe you guys can add to that. To control the spend on the display network for your UAC, you can adjust the bid for the display network. You can also exclude placements that are not performing well.
Yeah, it's not very. Yeah, it's not enough. No.
Yeah.
It's not the right answer. No. You have to give it a budget, and if it overspent, normally it will balance after 14 days. You should be fine, and then you have to block a lot of placement.
Yeah.
But it will overspend for sure, especially display.
All right. Well, Ali, Rashna, thank you for all this great information today. I actually got quite a few topics for future posts for the Tier 11 blog so that we can show up better in SGE results when time comes. I think we'll definitely do something on Google demand gen campaigns. There doesn't seem to be a ton of information, and I want to make sure we're informing people. I think there's a good blog in like Google Shopping and how to maximize it for SGE. So thank you very much. Any final thoughts on Google Ads? No.
I said all my thoughts for today.
I would say
no fun.
if you don't know how to run Google Ads and you go to Google to tell you, that's red flag. Just remember that if you are running or if you intend to run Google Ads, do not take suggestions from Google to run your ads. That's all I have to say.
Where should they go for Google Ads?
Either become an expert or look for an expert. That's the two options.
And if you're looking to hire an expert, you can go to tier11.com. There's a big pink button, and we'd love to chat with you about not just your Google Ads, but your full marketing funnel.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ali, Rashna, thank you very much. This was great. And I look forward to having you back soon. See ya.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.